So, it's been a couple weeks since I've been to Disney Springs, but they replaced the old trees around the AMC fountain with palm trees, which don't provide as much shade. I mean, it looks nice, but not quite as great a place to sit and hang out anymore. So they also just recently remodeled the inside of the AMC theaters, and well, it looks really nice. It's clean. It's got that new kind of dark brown charcoal red color that lots of places are adopting these days. But I'm going to tell you, and the other thing it really does is it connects the dine-in side with the other side, so there's not a doors dividing the two anymore, so you can check in on either side. So if you park in the orange garage or the lime garage, you don't have to like go all the way to the other side. You can enter down here now, so that's nice. And then they remodeled some of the theaters with the dine-in to add more comfy seats, so that's a big change. So I'm at the food truck plaza here in the west side of Disney Springs. If you go to the blog, you can see a recent video by Jared and Molly where they checked out the cookie dough food truck for us. I had the vegan version. There's a coffee cookie dough, cold brew cookie dough with chocolate chips. That's vegan, but you can't have the ears. The chocolate ears are not vegan. It has another vegan flavor on there too, so I may go check that out again later. But if you look behind that, you'll see the future home of Beatrix, the past home of Bongos, and they're in the middle of some remodeling, so let's go check that out. So there's some pretty extensive remodeling underway. There's some change. They've made a few small changes, stripping away the pineapple, the palm tree sort of motif to some of the pillars. They've changed a little bit of the outside of the pineapple, and if you look up on the second floor, you can see that they've really done a lot of work interior-wise as well, and you know, ripping out a lot of the doorways. So there's major work going on there, and let's go look on the other side as well. So as you can see, a lot of the design elements that made it Bongos feel Bongos, you know, Caribbean style, are gone, and they've torn out two big spots on the second story up there, which used to look like go into maybe a kitchen area. So I don't know if that's just to make it easier to get stuff in and out of the second story, or if they're planning to add some windows or maybe additional balcony seating up there. I don't know, but when Beatrix is done, this is not gonna look like Bongos at all anymore. It'll have a complete new exterior feel. So really curious to see what it is. I have not seen any concept art yet, just the name and some sample dishes out on the construction walls down below. So Beatrix, happy, healthy food. It's got a restaurant that'll have vegetarian and vegan options in addition to some meat options, and then there will be a market where you can pick up your to-go items if you want to bring it back to your resort hotel or just eat it elsewhere here in Disney Springs, and a coffee bar, which I'm looking forward to having another option than Starbucks. I love Starbucks, but you know, variety is good. So another big change coming to Disney Springs is right directly across from Bongos, which is becoming Beatrix. So the Something Silver little jewelry store which was at one point a cigar shop, is becoming Ample Hills Creamery. It's a small location, so I don't know, maybe they're doing some expanding backstage behind the scenes, but it'll be nice again to have a little some additional dessert options down on this side of Disney Springs on the west side. And we are getting the answer to one of my questions that I had. Is you can see this little silver filigree mosaic over here on the side. Are they going to keep that? Well, let's go find out. So it looks like they are taking down that old little mosaic with the silver in there. So I guess the answer is that we'll get a whole new facade as well. All right, so we're here now in front of the NBA Experience on the west side, which is one of the newer additions down here. And you know, the rumor has been that crowds have been pretty light, and people who've been in there have reported that it is a light experience. But now that the NBA experience, now that the NBA season is underway, it does kind of make me wonder, you know, maybe the crowds will pick up a little bit. Might get a little busier. Excitement is in the air. You come by here, you get a chance to maybe buy a jersey of your favorite player or team at the NBA store, or maybe just a hat or a turban. And then I think, you know, there's a couple big elements missing on the west side right now. Like, for instance, we're still waiting for the CityWorks pub and grill pub to open, and that's gonna happen probably, you know, early next year. And then they're also redoing the new Cirque du Soleil with the new Disney animation themed show. So let's go see if we can see anything new down there. It says coming winter 2019, but I think it's more likely going to be winter 2020, or, you know, January, February. It still counts as winter. So over here at Cirque du Soleil, one of the things that's new is they've added a new little exterior staircase that will lead from the top down or the bottom up, depending, over by the elevator for where wheelchairs can come up and down. Now I know that having just one elevator is a pain point in the past, so I'm curious if they're going to add another elevator somewhere, or if they're confident that will provide a solution. Still, the Cirque du Soleil store is still closed, so that's interesting. And they still have the curtains up on the second story, which tells me they're still doing work in the concessions area and probably inside the theater as well. And as you can see, there's lots of construction walls up, so we're excited. I can't wait. Cirque du Soleil, I think, adds something to Disney Springs that it needs, which is that kind of nighttime big draw that will bring people in the thousands to come and, you know, go shopping and enjoy the restaurants and then see a nice show. So that's what Disney Springs offers. I mean, that's what Cirque du Soleil offers Disney Springs. And then they're just doing some other general touch-ups, replacing some railings on some stairways. And they've added another set of stairs on this side as well. A little more throughput in and out of the show faster. So maybe that might allow them to turn around the shows a little quicker as well, if they can get people in and out. So curious to see how that works. But it doesn't look like they're making too many other exterior changes, just kind of fixing everything up, giving it a nice new coat of paint. So, and some new rails on the stairways, which is probably pretty well needed. Well, since I have you here, I want to talk a little bit about these plots of land over here. So, leading over to the rideshare West Side bus loop, which is where the non-Disney buses pick up and drop off. There's this huge grassy area in there, and right now they have the Project Lead Center for all these remodels that are going on down there. So that's, you know, where the engineers and people come to check in and, you know, make sure their projects are on track. But then around to the right here, looking out across to Sarasota Springs and across from House of Blues, there's another plot of land that's open, and they've had some food truck events in this area before, or back when they did the Motorama event, this area would be filled with classic cars. So I think that these two little areas I'd love to see Disney use a little more. So I don't know, maybe if they could do like some music festivals, take advantage of these green open spaces, or maybe bring back the Motorama now that and just focus it here on the west side. There's definitely some opportunities there, but what I'd really like to see is another theater. So next to the Cirque du Soleil, I think there's a really great opportunity to put in a Broadway caliber theater here where Disney could workshop its shows either before they go to New York or as they're getting ready to bring them on tour. Have them here for 2 or 3 months out of the year and then rotate and bring in a new show. So you would have maybe 3, 4, 5 shows throughout the year that swings through this location. And then Disney gets a chance to try out some new things, which right now, in order to do that, they have to use somebody else's property. If they built a purpose-built Broadway caliber theater here at Disney Springs, they could do that in a place they own and control, and have all the disposals of Disney World's craftsmen at their hands as well. So let me know in the comments what you think about that idea. Would you pay to see a Broadway caliber musical or other stage show here when on your visit to Walt Disney World? Making a brief stop here in the Disney Style store, which is packed full of new Christmas merchandise for all your fun pop Disney culture needs, whatever social platform you want to change on, or just go out to parks, have a little fun. Let's go take a look around and see some of the cool new stuff. It lights up and it's $65, but it's worth every penny. This one lights up too, but it's not a Christmas tree, it's just around the wreath. I like the new photo drop in the Disney Style store here on the west side. It's got the lights of Christmas on the castle and some fireworks. You can pose, get an Instagram video, the whole 9 yards. Show your love for Disney. Stop by the landing and check out this new mural honoring the tradition of Florida citrus here. It's right next to the Aaron McKenna's Bakery, or the new across the way from the big paddlefish boat that you should recognize. So let's go check. Grown in the Florida sunshine from spring-fed groves. We got our new signs up for Ron Jon Surf Shop here at Disney Springs. Moving in, it's a 2-story location. Looks like there's awnings, orange awnings on the top and the bottom floors. So Should be a lot of fun stuff in this Florida headquartered store.